So what is the common understanding of God? How do we define God? So the common understanding is that God is the creator. And whenever I see creators, I think of entrepreneurs. Well, an entrepreneur creates everything, even when there's nothing, just like gods do. The chairs that you are sitting on, the mic that which I am speaking through, the cars that you took to come here, everything has been created, have been conceptualized by somebody or the other. We don't realize because these things make our lives so comfortable today. We don't realize that once there was nothing. They created it from scratch. Now these individuals, these gods of enterprise, created the world that we live in today. Entrepreneurs are those who alter the status quo and bring about revolutions that affect people's lives all around the world. Though they make such valuable contributions, these gods still have to deal with umpteen obstacles, not only social and political, but also cultural. For instance, Oxford Dictionary defines an entrepreneur as a person who sets up a business, taking financial risks in the hope of making profit. Now you tell me, how many of you like the term profit making? Not only in Indian society, but in societies all across the nations, profit making is viewed as a bad term. Businessmen are considered cruel, mean. This is how we look at businesses. This is how we look at entrepreneurs. I always used to wonder that what is that fundamental characteristic of a society that makes it more progressive, financially more rich and developed? What kind of society will produce more entrepreneurs? And do you know what is the most fundamental trait? Free exchange of ideas. A basic thing as free exchange of ideas. Now, if there will be free exchange of ideas, there will be sharing of knowledge, which will bring in efficiency, innovation, inventions, discoveries, new cultural norms, new form of political system, new world order, and so on. Entrepreneurship breeds on free exchange of ideas. All of us are aware of barriers that we have in our society which prevent these free exchange of ideas. These barriers are caste, religion, culture, language, government, politics, society, media, and many more. So now you can imagine what does it take to be an entrepreneur in India. And that is why I say that an Indian entrepreneur is the world's most robust entrepreneur. Okay, so now the question is, how do we make Indian society more conducive for entrepreneurs? The answer is simple: by being an entrepreneur ourselves. And how do we become an entrepreneur? So I have identified 4 mindsets of entrepreneurs. You have to change the way you think. The first one is find a goal that resonates with your heart. Defining a goal is the first step towards achieving anything in life. And how will you find a goal that resonates with you? The answer is simple: ask your heart. Now remember, goals are not set by minds, they are set by hearts. Let your heart wander in imagination, in fantasies, in the dream world. Let it come back with the weirdest of desires, with weirdest of fantasies. But can you make these weirdest desires your goal? No, right? Because your mind will tell you that goals should be realistic. Goals should be achievable. They should be worthy of your time and effort, right? You know what is the problem here? The problem is not that you have a very romantic, bubbly, energetic, childish heart. The problem is that you have a feeble mind. And your feeble mind tells you that this is not achievable. The feeble mind will tell you to contain your heart, to rein your heart. It will put restrictions on your heart and it will inhibit its imagination. As a result, your goals will not be set by your heart, but by your mind. And your goals will look tiny, common, and ordinary. So how to change this? I always say, unleash your heart. Think of your heart as a spoilt brat who can ask anything under the sun from his rich dad. And who is this rich dad? It's your mind. Make your mind as powerful, that whatever your heart desires, it can give it to him. This powerful dad should move heavens and earth to fulfill his child's desire, but never ever will this dad say no to his child. Your mind should be as powerful. So make your mind listen to your heart. Make your mind feel embarrassed if it questions your heart. Shame it publicly. Fight it, do anything you want, but never ever let your mind question your heart. Now, interestingly, this also solves the problem of focus. We spend so much of time in identifying our goals, and then suddenly we realize that we are losing focus. So people ask each other that, what should we do to improve focus? How can we have a better focus? What are the tips? So problem is not in your focus. Problem is in the goal that you have set for yourself. The goal is not driving you. You're not getting driven by the goal that you have set for yourself. Now, it is like saying that instead of focusing on the girl you like, you are focusing on your friend's girlfriend. Now, boys can focus on their friend's girlfriend even more, I know. So, this is a wrong example, but you've understood the point that I'm trying to make. So some people may ask, is it necessary to be rigid towards your goal? So the answer is, whose goal is it? It is your goal, right? So why do you have to ask anybody else that it is necessary to be rigid or to be flexible? In any case, I think it's better to be flexible in life, right? You will enjoy life more if you are flexible. So the point that I'm trying to make is that your goals will also evolve as you evolve in life. So never have rigid goals. You will have a better worldview after a certain period of time, and then you will realize that, the goal that I set for myself was too tiny. Now I have to achieve some bigger things in life. Second mindset is don't work hard. Now people will tell you that, you have to work very hard if you want to achieve something. But I say don't work hard at all. Now there is no such thing called as hard work. You either like the work you do or you don't like the work you do. How can you call a work hard? What is hard in it? So few of the privileged ones here must have experienced the ecstasy of having all-night conversations with their girlfriends, boyfriends. A few might be having with both. So I would like to ask them, did you ever find it hard? The work. Did you ever find the work hard? So you did not find it hard to stay awake all night, but next morning when you reach college, you find it difficult to stay awake. So staying awake is hard in the college, but staying awake at night is not hard. So your goals are in place, right? So that's why I say find a goal that resonates with your heart, and you will never feel that you are working hard for it. Whenever we go for movies, for travel, or we go out with friends, and we spend hours together, we never feel exhausted. We always feel full of energy. The moment we come back home and we have to get ready for the next day, and we think that what we have to do the next day, we start feeling tired. So what is your understanding that what are you doing which is making your mind feel harder? You're enjoying certain things and you're not enjoying certain things. So the problem is in the focus. We have never come across anyone who has said that, we partied for 5 hours last night and it was such a hard work, I tell you. Have you ever said that tonight I'm going to work very hard because I have to watch this famous movie RRR? No, because those are the things that we love to do. We can do them for hours at a stretch and still remain unexhausted and full of energy. Similarly, entrepreneurs also love the things that they do. They are passionate about it. They get infinite energy and perseverance from within to pursue the goals that they have set for themselves, which resonates seamlessly with their heart. So there is no such thing called as hard work. Rely on yourself. Now, this is a very important mindset. This is a very important characteristic. Do gods rely on someone else? So then how can entrepreneurs rely on someone else? I'll share a small anecdote with you. When I was in class 10th, I had a huge crush on someone. And what happens when you have a huge crush? You suffer a massive heartbreak. So I also got a massive heartbreak. Now, very few people in this world can take the liberty to discuss their childhood romance on stage, especially when their wives are sitting in the audience right in front of them. Yeah. I know I'm lucky because, I have my childhood friend as my beautiful and loving wife. So I tell you, I was a very good student all throughout. Not because I was very intelligent or studious, but because my dad was very strict. So I was a compulsory good student. He used to tell me, I understand only one position in class, and that is the first position. Second, third, I don't understand. So I was forced to come first in every class. Now I am in class 10th where everyone in the family and outside the family is telling me, beta, this is your board exams. The marks that you get here cannot be erased all through your lifetime. So you have to be very, very careful, very cautious. And what is beta doing? Beta is feeling rejected and dejected in love and is finding hard to study. So before I realized, pre-boards have arrived. I knew I was going to do very poorly in my exams. And then thinking of the day when my dad is holding my report card and he's looking at me, the thought used to scare me. So in desperation, I went to my grandmom and asked her, Dadi, what should I do? I haven't studied and I'm not prepared for the exam. So she said, pray to God. So I said, okay. So I said that if I pray to God, will I come first in class? She said, beta, God can do anything. Even if you don't write anything in your answer sheets, God can still pass you. So I said, no, but I have to come first. She said, yeah, you can top. I said, okay. She said, but provided you should have sincerity in your prayers. You should be sincere in your prayers. So I said, then I felt very happy because, I have been always a very sincere student. So I thought that I became so sincere that I did not even touch my study books. I only learned the hymns, and I became so sincere that I used to sleep in the prayer room. And when the results came, I created history. Because that was the first and last time in my life that I saw those marks, 29%. And even the second last student was at 49%. So you see the margin. My dad was so shocked, he couldn't speak a word. So when we came back from school after taking the report card, I was expecting that my dad will scold me, he will punish me, or he will say something at least. But he did not say anything. Now, I had never seen my dad so sad in my life. So I also became very sad. I went to my grandmom and asked her that what has happened. She did not have any answer. So I cried all day. In the evening, I went to God and I said that, if you had to do this, then you should have told me. At least I could have studied on my own. I could have gotten at least rank in the first 20. At least I wouldn't have come last. So at night, when I did not find any answer, I said, okay, chuck it. Let it be. Whatever has happened has happened. There were 14 days left for my board exam. I went to my dad and I said, please give me one chance. I will come first in my class. He knew that it's not going to happen, so he did not say anything. But from that day till the day of the last day of my exam, how I studied, I don't know from where the energy came. And when the results came, I did not come first in my class, I did not come first in my school, I did not come first in my district. In fact, I topped the state within the 14 days. So, this incident, this phase on my life made me realize that if you are not able to rely on your own self, no one is going to help you. Even gods can't help you. So if you rely on yourself, you can make miracles happen. So in entrepreneurship, the basic fundamental is it teaches you to rely on your own self. Now the fourth mindset is unlearning the culture. A culture in which one is raised has a lot of bearing on how one thinks. Since your actions are shaped up by your thoughts, hence your achievement potential is largely determined by the culture in which you grew up. This also explains why a developed society produces more number of entrepreneurs. We grew up in a society where majority of people around us seek permanency and dependency. We go for government jobs because it is more permanent. So when I was young, I asked one of my uncles that which is a better career option? Should I become a government servant or should I become a top politician? So he said, of course, government servant, because that is permanent. So today I would not comment on which is a better career option, but I would certainly say that if you have an entrepreneurial mindset, permanency is not the criteria to judge a career option. Interestingly, the society teaches you to be mediocre. If you are dressed up well someday, immediately some elder will come and say, कि बेटा नज़र लग जाएगी, कुछ टीका लगा लो. If you are laughing a lot, if you are very happy, people will say, इतना ज़्यादा मत हंसो, किसी की नज़र लग जाएगी. Your well-wishers love you and are saying this with the purest of intentions because this is what they have learned from their culture. But subconsciously, it signals your mind to slow down. Not to look very pretty, not to be very happy, to control your thoughts and emotions. If someone starts a new venture and is doing exceptionally well with exponential growth, you will hear people saying, oh, someone who goes up very fast also comes down very fast. So itna tez mat chalo. Why? Because we are not accustomed to such rapid growth rate. So we immediately think that there is something wrong in it. It is short-lived and it is going to crumble down very soon. Now you tell me that despite the fact that you are doing something with full conviction, and if people around you are telling you, slow down, slow down, slow down, you need to have a very, very strong conviction to counter it. Slowly you also start thinking that when so many people are saying the same thing, it must be true. And you start questioning your own conviction. As a result, the conviction in your venture starts fizzling down. And your venture begins to slow down. So now you have proven them correct. Next time when you see someone rising fast, you say the same thing. That, oh, I have also been there, I also done that, and it is not going to work out. And at the back of your mind somewhere, you also wish that this person also should fail, because you have also failed. So, at a subliminal level, what are we propagating? We are propagating mediocrity. So the culture that you are living in is so strong that it is bending your conviction and pulling it down until and unless it is in sync with it. If you have to rise, you have to have such a strong conviction that when the culture tries to pull you down, you don't go down, rather you pull the culture up. You should tell the culture, don't tell me what to do. In fact, learn from me how to do it. I am not born to follow the culture. In fact, I am the culture. We live on a planet of 7 billion people, but only a handful of them dare to break the rules and exceed the limit. These are the people who not only improve the things in the present, but also mold the future of the human race with their vision. They can identify problems in situations where other people are happy to let things continue as before. They turn these problems into personal challenges, which they then solve with their grit and determination. If you want to be an entrepreneur, set yourself free. Have a free mind, free thoughts. Dream as if there is no tomorrow. As I said, let your heart be a brat who has no reins on his dreams. And train your mind to be that powerful father who moves heaven and earth to make the wish of his child come true. Live a life which inspires you, and you will be the inspiration for many. Be an entrepreneur, be a living legend, be your own God. Thank you.